here's the reading. It's going to be very brief. It's towards the end part of the book, the last part of the book. My main character is now in charge of programming at the CBC. And we find him at the Niagara Institute, the Management Institute in Niagara, Ontario. And he's talking to a woman with whom he'd worked for some time. She was standing 6 meters from the front entrance by the curb, smoking furiously. "You're not coming in?" asked Elliot. "To a management seminar at the Niagara Institute? You're kidding, right?" Hazel squinted at the glassed-in display next to the front doors. "Which one are you? Challenging your diagnostic style?" "No, managing shareholder expectations. Node A17, actually." "Dear God. My team are going to take a lot away from this experience." She gestured with her smoke to the glass in Elliot's hand. "How's the vino?" "Oh, I don't know." Elliot noticed he was indeed holding a glass containing a transparent yellowish liquid. "I haven't given it much thought." "I've just come from Dr. Palmy," she said. "Dr. who?" "Jurgen Palmy, the host of Reason." He was inconsolable. "You showed him the ratings. Surely a rational man. Look, everybody has feelings. Yourself accepted, I suppose." "I gave the show a shot, Hazel, but we're the national public broadcaster. Without a public, I am also obliged to convey a message from Kurt and Heather. I don't know it." Elliot says, "I don't know any." "Well, they're the creators of Les Les." "Kurt?" "They don't want to make it a drama. They want to make Claudette the Quebecois straight. She leaves Betty, the Newfoundland character, for a man. A nice one. South Asian Ontarian. Betty's tested poorly, and it's too late, Hazel." Hazel knew this was true. "They're going to ask you to be president of the CBC," she said. "I already got the call." "I didn't think you had the French." "Well, I don't really, but theirs wasn't good enough to tell the difference." "Is that why you raced off to California when Victor died?" "What?" Elliot was genuinely perplexed. "To look like you didn't want the job? To let the other aspirants cut one another down in your absence? It's being called one of the great Machiavellian moves." "Look, I was booked to go to California before Victor's accident, and as for Machiavelli, the CBC's hardly worth the candle." Hazel took a studied drag of her cigarette and exhaled smoke over Elliot's shoulder, shooting a hot cloud past his ear. "I also heard you're going to wind up the Newfoundland service," she said. "Well, I'm going to consolidate Atlantic Canada in the Halifax office. When they called about the president's job, they wanted to know how I could meet some of the 3 priorities. I couldn't think of much, so I made shit up. It's all in the new strategic plan, TVC 2.0. I'm putting advertisements on radio. The mornings are a gold mine. There'll be more children's programming for adults, and there are some cuts called consolidation. It seemed the sort of thing they would want to hear. There's a vacancy for the regional director position in Newfoundland. It seemed as good a time as any to kill it, and Winnipeg. Give me the job." "Head of CBC Newfoundland? Are you nuts? Canada is already a backwater. There's no need to go to its backwater." "Look, I'm quitting the place. You owe me." "I don't owe you." "No, but something," Hazel said, and Elliot understood. "Sure, Newfoundland, have it. What do I care? Been there in March? The climate is like geology in a mood." "I like the people." "Yeah? What you mistake for friendliness, they're just nosy." "How could you be shutting down the shop in St. John's and greenlighting a show from there?" "Jesus, but people are gossips, and they get it wrong. The greenlit show has a Newfoundland theme, that's all. It's going to be shot in Halifax. They've kissed my arse raw looking for something to keep the plant open. I'll make them produce it in St. John's if you want. I'm the president. I'll shut down the Halifax studio instead. They've already got the Navy, they can't complain." "What's this new show?" "Tiny Newfies." "Tiny Newfies? Look, it's fun. We tested the pilot. Canadians love tiny Newfies." "What about Newfoundlanders?" "As long as it's about them, they're fine with it. You'll find they're needy that way." Hazel nodded. Elliot knew she was weighing whether she should object to the show now or wait until she was safely ensconced in St. John's with the Halifax studio already sold to developers. "Remember," Elliot said, "the new governing principle is to make the assets attractive." "Attractive what? To the audience?" "No, to the marketplace. It's part of the if part of the service isn't readily saleable, it's going to be wound up. This comes from on high. I got a call from Russ Yelverton at the PMO, 3 o'clock in the morning. I could hear the Prime Minister swearing in the background. The job offer was conditional on my making the CBC a liquid asset. Don't repeat that. Not even the Minister of Heritage knows.
I can